Masinamkele kwi-inkqubo yethu yosuku namhlanje iVoice of the Bay. Good evening once again and welcome to our last episode for 2024 of VOB Voice of the Bay. But tonight we are closing our show in style. We'll be talking to the Executive Mayor of Nelson Mandela Bay, Councillor Babalwa Lubishe. She is working within her 100 days in office. There are a lot of challenges that she is facing with, and I also still remember when she was elected in the council early last month, she promised a number of things because some of the towns, Kariecha, Dispatch, and Gqeberha, are facing a number of things. Now that we experience a number of disasters, heavy rainfalls or floods that destroyed a number of homes here in Nelson Mandela, we expect her to update us on those events that took place earlier on. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, or our viewers at home, to welcome the Honorable Executive Mayor of Nelson Mandela Bay, Councillor Babalwa Lubishe. Welcome, Executive Mayor.
Thank you very much, Putbesi, and good evening to you and the listeners at home.
And congratulations for being elected unopposed by the entire Council of Nelson Mandela Bay. Congratulations, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Putbesi. I think I appreciate that fact. I don't take it light, because it just shows the confidence they have within me, and I take it as a responsibility that I must take very serious for me not to disappoint those that had confidence in the abilities that I have.
Executive Mayor, when you presented your first speech as an executive mayor in the council, you have promised to do a number of things now that we are having a number of challenges across the bay. There is a bridge that has collapsed through heavy rains. I think it was last month or in August, not in August, in October. In Kariecha. We have seen on social media that there are some developments or the bridge has been opened. It's going to be you who's going to update us about the developments. There are a number of things that you have listed. Take us through, firstly, to the town of Kariecha. So far, what have you done?
Thank you very much, Putbesi. I take this question with so much enthusiasm because, firstly, let me appreciate the agility that has been shown by our officials, because when I assumed office on the 1st of November, I called all the managers and superintendents so that we are able to understand what is it that we want to deliver in our city. And they've shown without any hesitation that they want to invest into this city. So they've moved beyond the commitment they have made in our one-on-one meeting. And when we went to Kariecha, my first public meeting was in Kariecha in the first week of November in office to engage the community of Kariecha. And I made bold commitments that we want to revive the township, because we are of the view that we have been neglecting or not delivering in terms of how we should be within the Kariecha area. And part of what we committed to was that we are going to leave one of the senior managers to look at the coordination of the work service delivery for all departments in the Kariecha area. So the utilization of the office of the mayor in that area is going to be revived, because currently there is no manager that is employed, but we've since seconded the, not seconded, but delegated the COO to look into the operations of that office and follow up all the service delivery issues. So the COO twice a week goes to the area to look at the service delivery challenges that have not been attended to. And part of what we have committed to was to fix the major infrastructure challenges in the area, which starts from the collapsed bridges. There were two mainly affected bridges and one intersection which touches on a major canal in Ward 48, which yesterday we managed to launch it. And after, one would remember that it was hard hit twice, the one of Ward 48 at near Jubilee Hotel. It's where the president also went to check the damage.
Yes.
So 4 weeks ago, exactly 4 weeks ago, we were there to look at the damage. The contractor was already on site. And what we pleaded with officials that there must be no weekends, so that by the peak of the festive season, the road is usable. Yesterday, we were there to launch the bridge.
So the motorists are able to make use of that bridge now?
They are able to make use of the Jubilee one, the Niven one, which connects to the economic zone,
Rocklands,
which is said to be in Kyla Street, and Rocklands is also usable. And the amount that has been spent to fix the two bridges goes, the other one is 6.8 million. The other one is 3.4 million, so which has been spent to fix the two bridges.
So which company did you use?
I might not be aware of the name of the company, but all I know is that there are service providers that are on a tri-annual tender. So those are the companies that were part of the
So
the
which
process.
also includes the SMMEs of that area?
Yes, no, I can't confirm that. All I know, we have been reported that all due processes were followed, because the tri-annual tender does include the aspect of the beneficiation of the locals. So we are satisfied in terms of the supply chain process, as we have been reported. But in terms of who the company name was, I might not be interested in that.
Just before-
All I'm interested is there's a confirmation from our engineers that the road is usable, it's of standard, and the project leader has confirmed that both what we launched yesterday can be opened for public use.
It's safe for
It's
public
safe
use.
for public use.
We need to stress that it's safe for public use. Another thing that we need to look at is the issue of houses that were damaged by the floods. How far are you as the municipality?
We've received the report on Monday from NHBRC, because we were pressing on them for us to be able to hold a public meeting on the other side of Utnik. Because we have, from this side of the town, from your Ward 48, Ward 50, we have not had a public meeting, which is going to give feedback on the houses that were affected. So on Friday, a team of our officials is going to go there to deliberate on the NHBRC report, so that each and every affected household is on the know of what then becomes our plans moving forward.
Thank you very much for giving us that explanation, Executive Mayor. We will now go for a commercial ad break, and then we'll continue with the Executive Mayor after the commercial. Namkela kwi-inkqubo yethu iVoice of the Bay. Good evening and welcome once again to your favorite talk show on channel 260. That is your VOB, Voice of the Bay. Igama lam nguPercy M. Lamani. I am still with the Executive Mayor of Nelson Mandela, giving us an update, reports on various issues. Now we are going to focus at Dispatch. This town, I think it's one of the neglected town. There are a number of things that are not considered in this small town. That is the town that is between Kariega and Gqeberha. We call it Dispatch. Currently, the people of Dispatch are experiencing the same thing that is being experienced by the people of Kariega, the shortage of water. There are no proper roads. Most of the wards in that township are not tarred, they are gravel roads. And yet, water and sanitation is one of the biggest challenges in this area. As the municipality, what are you currently doing in terms of at least providing some of the services?
Thank you, Putbesi. Where there's no water, we provide tanks daily on the households. And as the municipality, our main objective is for us to provide services in a sustainable manner. Hence, in the last mayoral committee this week, we sought a presentation that was looking at how do we bridge the gap between us not having money and sourcing money from Treasury, so that we are able to fund what we are short of in terms of the infrastructural needs. And all the new settlements that have been built post 1994, some of them still lack roads leading to houses, and some of them they still lack the bulk infrastructure. Like your Mission Vale area, there are 2 rows of streets that do not have connections. It's what we want to fix, and we are looking at avenues that are going to assist us. Hence, we said our city manager must go back and report back to us, because we, on Tuesday, the 17th of December, we have an EXCO meeting with mayoral committee to sort out all the issues that we have not dealt with. Part of those is this one of the infrastructural challenges, close off on disaster. The third one, audit outcomes, because we have been briefed and we're looking at how best do we respond to such. So in our agenda, we've got those issues that we are saying before we go and celebrate the December period. Let's sort those things so that next year it's action, and as we will be going towards the budget adjustment, some of the solutions might come from adjusting budget, some might come from the applications we'll be making for the next financial year to Treasury around the infrastructural challenges.
Another thing that is making a concern is the issue of Bayland and their councillor. They have been complaining for quite some time that they are not. The councillor of that area is from Dispatch, and yet they are located at Bayland, and yet the councillor doesn't listen to them, or the councillor doesn't recognize them as people who form part of the ward. What was what is your reaction on that?
Well, we have over-relied on Councillor Lau from Ward 41 to service people of Bayland, even though we know they are not falling under Ward 41, they are falling on Ward 52. and he has been doing an excellent job. And I think it has been a failure on our side to take the matter to council, because by law, each and every councillor has got to provide a report on meetings with their constituencies. And if that one in particular does not do so, it's a matter that must be discussed in council, which we have not done.
But it's been a while that thing is happening, Executive Mayor.
It's because of the fact that Councillor Lau has been bridging that gap. So even the electrification of that area was facilitated through Councillor Lau, not the Councillor of Ward 52. So we have been mitigating instead of dealing with the non-availability of their councillor of Ward 52. And part of the submissions we are making from the party political party that I'm coming from is for that ward not to be allocated within the demarcation process, not to be allocated in Ward 42, but those processes have not started, but we are still consulting, and we are currently engaging in my own organization.
But by law, that thing is not correct, because the budget that is allocated for that particular ward must be utilized for the people who are within that ward.
Hence, I am admitting that as council, because it's the responsibility of council to also look at areas that are neglected. We've never looked at the matter, tabled the matter, or taken a motion to council in that regard, because we have been relying on the fact that we do reach and service the people outside of the council. But now that it's a matter, because this serves also as a reminder that it's something that we can also take to council and consider. We can do so. There's nothing that stops us from doing so, to nudge the councillor or to make him be accountable in council as to what are the plans for the Bayland.
In terms of their demands, I can see that now there are less protests that are taking place in that ward or in that particular area of Bayland. What have you done to minimize the protests?
Well, but Percy, I'm not going to sit here and lie. The last interaction we had with them was in May, when they were wanting electricity, and we did adhere to their call. We brought the contractor in place, and they set timelines. I was I was leading the delegation that was responsive to such. And even when they had challenges with their toilets, we did adhere to that. But I think all the settlements, human settlements that are informal, we are taking their matter to council, because by law we are supposed to be putting everyone in terms of their sites, and also we are supposed to be counting the informal settlements, so that we are in the know as to how many informal settlements are in this area. So whether they are rightfully there or not, but it's what we are taking to council.
Again, we will go for a commercial break, Executive Mayor, and continue with our discussions. Let's go once again for a commercial break. Nkosini kakhulu kwakho ngokuba kunye nathi, sibuleleke nevenkile sikwamkele nawe Executive Mayor. Executive Mayor, you have given us beautiful updates of the two towns, but now let's talk about the big city, Gqeberha. There are a lot of things, a lot of challenges. People are crying every day. There is darkness, potholes, roads are not, they are not in good condition. Dumping, illegal dumping, the issue of some of the issues are being experienced even by the people of Kareha and the people of Dispatch. The issue of crime. People of these two cities, like the people of Kabeja, also experiencing this. It's you who's going to give us the update of what is happening.
Well,
The state of the big city.
thank you, Putbesi. In terms of cleanliness, we are verimenting 69 million so that the solid waste challenge is addressed up until the end of June, because we've picked up that time and again we are unable to collect waste because of budget constraints. There are no trucks available. This week we did receive 3 trucks that were bought through the RT29 contract, because if we would have utilized our own, it would take longer, but we managed to buy 3. At this stage, we are anticipating during this financial year to get at least about 6 of them that deal with solid waste, so that we don't outsource everything, but the city would manage to have its own. So tomorrow we are taking to council that veriment, which will be assuring our residents that the city is going to be clean. One would have started to notice that grass cutting has started, and the Mati Road has been fixed on your way to Sasa. Everyone knows where Sasa is, and New Brighton Police Station. The big Mati Road, we've started to fix it. So it's good and well. We've also, through our joint program with the Department of Transport, we've started to fix the old Jutnik Road again, so that there's movement and there's a second reliable road with no potholes, closer to at the back of Dispatch, moving forward. So we are bit by bit going to go to the major roads. We also see on M4 there are potholes as you are coming towards town, at the back of Royal, coming back, and some railings that are not well polished, and even on R75. There have been engagements with Sanral. At the end of October, they made commitments that by the 20th of December, those would be fixed. So it's upon us now to nudge them to do what they have committed, because some of the roads are national roads. But on the top of our agenda is the discussions of utilization of joint cameras, so that we are able to achieve a smart city program wherein every movement in the city can be monitored. We are still struggling from the side of Sanral, but we are hoping to get a breakthrough through our MSC. And the second matter around the dark city, on the 16th, we are planning to switch on again the lights at M4 going down, because we will be doing it for the second time this financial year. In October, we did put the lights on, all of them, the cables were stolen. So this time we want to put them with sensors on, not just with anything. But we must say that there are serious setbacks when it comes to switching on the lights, because vandals are consistent in making sure that they bring us back to instead of us moving forward. We install, they take the cables out. So if once we master this camera and monitoring, we are very sure that a difference can be felt. But in terms of safety of the city, we've got 6 rotating speed traps in the city that started last Friday. we are going to change them as the hotspots change, as the season comes up. And the city is very much sure that we are going to eliminate the accidents that we have. But with the joint effort with the police, we are hoping that we are going to achieve this confiscation of arms that is going around, and with consistent pop-up roadblocks, we are going to also make positive strides in taking the arms from the people who are moving around. So we note with sadness that there's continuation of killings of people in the city, but we are not going to tire, because we are government and we took oath to protect the people of South Africa. So we've got to stand up and not give in to criminal elements, because once we do so, there's no life that is going to be spared. So I think in terms of crime, that's that. Our stance is that let's fight until the end instead of giving in. And yeah, thank you.
There were some reports that some of the councillors' office are closed because of criminality that is taking place. People are being robbed. What precautionary measures did you put in place in terms of assisting those offices?
Currently, there's no office that is closed, because in all of those that were previously threatened, we've sent some guards there and also some cameras. So there is no councillor's office that is left without being assisted, because we want to assure that service delivery is being delivered to the people, provided to the people. And we want to plead as well to the community that these offices are meant to service us. And if they are not going to assist in making sure that safety prevails in them, it's to our disadvantage, because those that are in those councillors' offices equally have lives and are made of flesh, so we can't protect them beyond what we are providing. The only thing we need is for the community to stand up against criminality and protect what serves them.
Lastly, before we go for a commercial ad break, we have been commemorating the 16 days of activism. What message did you put across and your interventions in some of the incidents related to GBV?
Today we were closing off the 16 days of activism. One would remember that the day was yesterday, but we took a conscious decision to do it a day after, so that we are able to call all stakeholders and be able to reflect on the resolutions we took within this period and activities that we held as the municipality. Because in the first day of 16 days of activism, we had a 2-day workshop that was looking at a multi-sectoral approach on how best do we integrate our efforts as all GBV, NPOs, government sectors, to make sure that we are able to fight the scourge to the latter. And today it's quite heartwarming to learn that 40 of the stakeholders were part of the meeting with us at the City Hall to look at the framework of how do we move forward as the city and how do we mainstream GBV within the plans of government, and it finds expression within the IDP.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor Councillor Babalwa Lobishe. When we come back from the ad break, I will be entertaining your questions. Sibuyela kakhona sinamkela kwinkqubo yethu kusukela ngoku kuya pha kwintsimbi yesibhozo ndabe ndifunda imibuzo yenu. Masibaleke sepha ku Facebook wethu uAndile Hewu uthi yena, Percy, kindly ask the executive mayor why the companies that are installing fiber are not closing up the tar or the road. The case in point is Johnson Road. It's more than 3 months now. Cars are getting damaged. Executive Mayor.
Thank you very much for the question. I think that is very wrong. We've also seen at the back of, I don't want to, at the back of Costin, because I don't want to call the company name, we are making a follow-up to the companies.
Yes.
Because it's not supposed to be the case. And the project leaders are supposed to take responsibility. Even this one of Johnson Road is within the list of companies that are supposed to be accounting, and punitive processes are going to be followed.
Second question is from Omyapi. Omyapi, I think he's the member of National Alliance. He's the member of National Alliance from the northern areas. Oh, there are a number of questions here. Seeing that service delivery is non-existent and law enforcement is a figment of the mind, how many executive directors received performance bonuses for the last 3 years? Omyapi from the National Alliance.
I might not be accurate in terms of the next 3 years, the past 3 years, but I know in the past year none of them did, and it's something that we are still continuing to make sure that the alignment of functions and performance is achieved.
Another caller is, in fact, another WhatsApp viewer who sent us a message or a question is Mr. Bongani Pandle. Mr. Bongani Pandle. His WhatsApp text, I'm trying to search it now. Mr. Bongani Pandle, Utinian. As ANC member who happens to be the mayor, he's referring to not to you, Mr. Ngabafako. You understand Vision 2020. Ngokufuna uqonda apha in his question. Do you revisit that vision of 2020 under these current circumstances?
Well, Vision 2020 was quite developmental in approach, because it was touching on how do we build an economic viable city, because it was identifying most of the nodes for revitalization of the city, for it to be able to be self-sustainable. For instance, all the nodes that were identified are still relevant even now. The establishment of the waterfront is still relevant. How we deal and also rebuild the CPD is still relevant. And how do we make sure that Township, New Brighton, your red location, and all these areas are revived. So we can't just do away with it, because it was a document that served to give us a direction on how best we move forward as the city for it to be more viable.
Let's move on and read the message that is coming from Mr. Lizwi Ngangeshe. Mr. Lizwi Ngangeshe is one of the news readers from Gobela FM. He sent us some questions. The first question, I think it has to do with the kind of intervention as the municipality that you can offer to civil society organizations that are in the forefront of fighting gender-based violence.
Well, the intervention we have committed to today was that we must get them under one umbrella. There's a body that is chaired by Mr. Qeba, which is a multi-sectoral body. He's a chairperson of it, and we are saying everyone who's in the space must come forward so that we collaborate efforts and we are able to make formidable strides. Resource mobilization is part of what we have committed to as the national pillars are saying. We must be able to find resources so that we are able to deliver on the mandate. Because without resources, no one can champion GBV. But as well, on working on the economic state of the victims is also going to be part of what we will be focusing on, so that those who find themselves being victims because they are unable to stand on their own, we are able to offer them skills, we are able to capacitate them to stand on their own, and they are not repeatedly victimized because they can't stand on their own economically. So those are part of what we agreed upon today, and moving forward, it's what we need to be championing, because we said we are going to agree on a 2-year program, take it to council, move with it for 2 years, having committed to that as these multi-sectors.
His second question says that your mayorship is the 13th since 2001. And it comes during a period of collusion. What steps have you taken, if any, to ensure the instabilities that come with collusion governments? Do not undermine your mayorship, and you succeeded in taking service delivery to the people of the metro.
I'm not sure whether is this a question.
No, it's a question. Yeah, it's a question. He would like to know, since you are the 13th mayor, since 2001.
What will I do to make sure that there's stability?
There is stability.
Well, I think any relationship politically is managed through communication. And if we are not going to master to bring our partners along on the path we are taking, or to communicate what is it that we want to achieve, as these parties, we are bound to fall. But if they see the goal and we take them along, we should be able to find solution. Look, even in now, we are moving in one, because all of us wants to see the difference in the previously disadvantaged area. And it's what we have been bringing in the past weeks since we've been in office. And one is quite optimistic that we've got a future for this city. So, yeah.
For the last time, Executive Mayor, we will go for another commercial break. Nkosi kakhulu, sibuyile kwakhona. Welcome once again. This is our last segment. The time is 10 minutes before 8. Let me read another WhatsApp message that is coming from Rita Badi. I think she's a pensioner. She used to be a teacher. Rita Badi is saying to you, Executive Mayor, why it is so difficult to clean drains in order to avoid rain damages. We have trees, we have rubber. Why are we not helped in collecting those things? Is there any plan for robots to work? For example, material to be used that will make the tanks not to have a chance of destroying the traffic lights. Our roads are repaired, e.g. potholes, but you will find out the cheap material is being used. Within a short space of time, they are back to square one. For a house to owe municipality an amount of 250,000, I mean, that is ridiculous. It's impossible. But why it is like that? There are many dissatisfactions. Otherwise, we are not pleased with service delivery at all. Avalati thanks, Percy. That is Rita Party.
Thank you, Putbesi. Thank you for the question. Ma'am Rita should understand that that's what we are trying to do. We're trying to fix what has gone wrong for the past years, that there's no follow-up on transgressors, and also there is no also follow-up on those who are doing projects. Well, the downside of outsourcing everything is that in some cases you get service providers that do shoddy work, and the time of recouping that money, at times it's not possible. So it's the downside of the tendering system, but I'm not saying in all cases it is the same. As we can't do away with it, its intention was to empower our people and get them to be employers on their own. So we can't wash it away as a fact. But coming back to the issue of service delivery, we are trying by all means to correct the billing system of the city so that every household is paying for what they are using. Hence we said even those who are taking the electricity and water illegal must come forward, because we are intending to make sure that every citizen that is working pays for the electricity, because the system now that we will be converting to will be able to say where is Percy Laman working, where is Babalo working. Then we get permission from the courts to take money directly if you owe us and you are not coming forward to negotiate, because the Credit Act warrants you to come forward and negotiate. If you don't take that avenue and you continue to steal, then we are looking at the avenues as to, if you steal deliberately, how do we deal with you? If you steal, there's no deliberate. Okay, the second matter, Putbesi, on the question, Kamam Rita, is around the cleanliness. We've started 2 weeks ago to take bulky waste. Bulky waste refers to the trees, to all couches and every other thing that you want to throw away. Instead of throwing it on the streets, there are dates and there's rotation. For instance, I know in Kwatwesi, it was a Monday and Tuesday in Ward 30 and 36, Monday and Tuesday, that was the collection of bulky waste.
Okay.
And the number for disaster management, one is able to call disaster management if you have bulky waste and you want them to collect it for you. Instead of throwing it on the street, you can call them. If you are constructing a house, you must budget for the rubble.
Okay.
It's a by law. No one can just wake up and construct a house without budgeting for that. It's just that for years the municipality has not been addressing that with the residents.
Lastly, another WhatsApp message is coming from your colleague in the council, Councillor Lawrence Thrun. What is the stance on fraud and corruption? Now that Gary has been officially charged by the Hawks, will the ANC continue to protect him? When Nokolo Nwazi was charged for corruption, the ANC said she must be suspended from work. Why is the ANC not doing the same with Gary van Niekerk, your deputy executive mayor?
Well, what did he expect us to do? Because in the last council, it was the ANC who tabled the the report. Our speaker, who is a deployee of the ANC, tabled the report as it was warranted. It was the ANC who supported the fact that the deputy mayor must be brought to book by the MEC for COGTA. And the report is within the MEC. And if he is criminally charged, the code of conduct is very clear that he can no longer be a council. And if tomorrow he is criminally charged by police or any form of a court, we'll have to deal with it in the council. So I can't deal with it now because we are not in the council, but tomorrow I will have to deal with it when it's tabled.
Now that this is our last show for 2024, I'm giving you an opportunity of 30 seconds, Executive Mayor, just to make use of this mic and send your message of Christmas and Happy New Year to our viewers at home.
Thank you very much, Putpesi. To all our viewers at home, to residents of Nelson Mandela and fellow South Africans, we wish you a blessed Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Enjoy the festive season with precaution. Don't drink and drive. Don't hurt other people because we still need each other for the year to come. And thank you very much for supporting Mpuma Kapa TV, as it is part of the progressive stations that we have. And please pay your municipal bills with your bonus money and all the money that you'll be having. We are still open for those who want to pay the rates. And if you can't negotiate and pay a little money, God bless you. Have a blessed festive season. See you next year.
Executive Mayor, to those who sent their questions, we will make use of them tomorrow evening at Ngobela FM. I will be hosting the Executive Mayor once again at KQFM between 8 and 9 tomorrow evening. Kosin kakhulu unyaka obumhle kwabanye abanye bayalila kodwa ke sisebenzisene kahle kunyaka u2024. Wishing you all the best for 2025. Igama lami nguPercy M Lamani. Good night and see you in 2025. KuVOB Voice of the Bay.